Hello, I'm Nathan Judo. I'm here with Wolves Report. It is Mr. Liam Keane. Liam, we've just heard from Gary O'Neill ahead of the big game on Sunday. It is Wolves, it is Aston Villa, local derby, baby.
It is.
Looking forward to it. How was Gary O'Neill? Obviously, in pretty good spirits after that fantastic, marvellous, stunning result last weekend.
Yes, I thought he was really good value actually.
He was.
He was a little bit of laughs, a little bit of jokes here and there, a bit of fun, a bit of banter.
That's what outfoxing Pep will do.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of stuff obviously to come in the embargo tonight that is I can go more in depth on.
Which is to tune in to expressostar.com 10:30.
I thought you asked me to say what it was then.
No, I'm just plugging it.
10:30. But yeah, look, he was in really good spirits, and why not? Why shouldn't he be? Because we said this on Saturday. Not just the fact that the team were excellent, but he was excellent. He got all his substitutions right. He got his tactics right. Everything was spot on, and they deserved the 3 points. So why not be happy going into a big one on Sunday?
Yeah. From a team news point of view, how are they looking?
Yeah, so, I mean, touch wood, everything's been pretty good so far with injuries so far this season for Wolves. Santi Bueno's got a tight hamstring, so he didn't train properly today, but they're expecting him to be back in training tomorrow ahead of Sunday's game. So hopefully, you'd expect him to be in and around the squad. And Gary O'Neill did hint that it would be a very similar squad to what we saw at City. And then Hugo Bueno, double Bueno action.
Double Bueno. Double Bueno action.
Hugo Bueno.
Any surprises? No,
we're not going there.
No,
we're not going there. No, I got it. We're not going there. Hugo Bueno has got a sore knee. He wasn't in the squad for the City game. He's doubtful for Sunday, but they're expecting him to be back for Bournemouth after the international break.
So if he's not, then you've got the backup. You've got to think that Ryan Eno is probably going to play left wing back. He was superb again, and I thought he spoke very, very highly of him.
Or left back if they play 4. You never know.
Doc, if he's the one on the bench, is he the one who can play kind of like on that right or left hand side if needed?
He is the versatility player. I mean, he's even played at centre half for Wolves this season, so he is the versatility to come in and fit in, wherever really necessary. Semedo was brilliant against Man City. Doesn't deserve to lose his place based off that performance. Based off consistency this season, there's definitely question marks. Sure. So Doc's, he's thereabouts fighting. He's played on the left, obviously coming off the bench and playing there at Luton, I think it was, wasn't it, recently? So he's an option certainly, and this is what Wolves need now. They need options. And you look at a player like Boubacar Traoré, who, when they've got a team at the moment in, they've got João Gomez on 3 bookings, 2 away from 1 game ban. Lamina's 4 bookings, 1 game away. Same with Semedo. Boubacar Traoré is knocking on the door to start a game. I think it's sooner rather than later he starts for Wolves in the Premier League, because off the bench recently he's been brilliant. So these kind of options are only going to aid Gary O'Neill. Yeah.
In terms of O'Neill, people say, oh well, same side, everyone's fit, you go 5 at the back again. He didn't really buy into that theory too much, did he?
No, and it makes sense, and it's what we sort of expected talking about on the podcast this week, that it's not just a one size fits all. You win a game, don't change your winning side, play everyone, go again. It's yes, there'll be things we can take from it, there'll be positives and negatives, but you set yourself up tactically for the specific opposition that come in. I suspect it'll be fairly similar. But it wouldn't surprise me, knowing Gary O'Neill, that maybe there's a back 4, maybe there's 1 or 2 changes. If Bellegarde was fit, not suspended, I'd be more inclined to say he mixes it up and throws him into the starting 11. But with him unavailable, I'd hedge my bet to say it's the same starting 11.
He was talked a lot about VAR, and I'm sure some of that will come out. I don't think, paraphrasing, he's not a massive fan of it. He could do without it.
It's sort of backs the technology, but it's clear that there's the confidence in the application system of the technology at the moment is not quite there, which I think is probably a pretty sensible conclusion, one that most of us would agree with. I don't like VAR. I'd scrap it tomorrow.
You've never liked it?
I never liked it. I'd scrap it tomorrow. If I stand there and stand on screen first of all.
That'd be nice.
if I stand,
just a small shot, I mean.
I was gone.
It's like you're on a Saturday night.
If I stand here and actually analyse it properly, maybe not being too emotional about this, just scrap it tomorrow. Is the technology itself the problem? Probably not. It's more the
people employed to put the system in place.
And also there is a genuine concern over the actual rule set that the officials have in front of them. I think it's a 2-pronged thing there. Some of the rules are ridiculous or convoluted, conflated, confused, and you don't get to the right decision.
Look, I mean, whatever happens, they've got no say on it on Sunday. Whatever will be, will be. What they do need, and what Wolves have got a say in it, not just the players, not just the staff, but the fans. The atmosphere at Molineux was unbelievable against Manchester City, and I don't think they'll need too much raising, the actual volume when it comes to Aston Villa on Sunday. But at the same time, the players need that to happen as well. They need to give them something to shout about. But that kind of atmosphere, that's what you want at Molineux going forward.
Yeah, I'll stick with this, and I'll always say this: when Molineux is on song, when it's rocking, it's one of the best atmospheres in the country, without a doubt.
I used to hate coming here as a Borough fan. Hate it.
Are you a Borough fan? You didn't mention
Awful.
it.
You got Billy. You can't lose.
Mate, I can't believe you said that. I'm not.
I'm only kidding. He's not. He's not.
I really hate him. There's so many losers out there who say it to me all the time. Anyway, I don't know. I've given them ammunition now. You've given them the ammunition.
Well, you went down the Borough line, so.
I did. I fell for that.
He did.
It's one of the best atmospheres in the country. As a wee nipper following the club and watching them.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
People know.
Keep going. First game was.
Oh God, I don't actually remember, to be honest. I think it was about 6, but I don't remember.
Okay.
Anyway. I do remember a 6-0 loss at home to Southampton, which was a great game. I think that's one of the only games I left early as a kid, and I was very upset. Anyway, moving on. It's one of the best in the country, and we've had times, Nuno, and successful times when it's been brilliant almost every week. It was amazing against City. You need that for Villa. I think it will be. I think it takes care of itself being a West Midlands derby. But my message, and I suppose that's the same as what I did on the podcast recently, would be when it's your Sheffield Uniteds, your Lutons, your Burnleys, other clubs coming to Molineux, it's got to be exactly the same. And if it's like that every week, it genuinely makes a big difference to the team.
So you've talked about a 5. We've talked about the same squad. We've talked about he might surprise a couple. He's going with the same team, isn't he? Come on, what's your team?
So.
Do you think?
So. Yeah,
I think so. He's got to say that, but I'd be surprised if he went with anything different than Manchester City. I know he says you've got to have certain matchups and certain things that worked well and that he can implement in game to game, but it is very much on a horses for courses approach. But I'd be stunned with the amount of players that are available. Bellegarde still suspended. That to me, there's not too many people outside knocking on that door to start in that 11 after Manchester City.
No, I think that's the exact point. For me, it's Bellegarde. If he is available, he's knocking on the door to start, and if he starts, he more than likely changes the system. Sure. Because if not, it's Hwang or Neto dropping out. I don't see either of them dropping out.
It shows the impact he's made in the short space of time.
So other than that, you've got, as I say, Boubacar Traoré, Matt Doherty, players like this, but they fit into that same system still. So I think it'll be that system and that starting 11. So when it's totally different, come 1 PM when the teams are announced on Sunday, I won't be surprised because we don't often get it right. But yeah, that's what I expect.
Look, Wolves had a great result. So did Villa. They beat Brighton 6-1. They went midweek or last night on Thursday night, and they played a second string-ish again.
Yeah.
And look, nearly made to pay. They had to put all the big guns in at half time. 0-0. They scored in the 94th minute. The likes of Watkins, Louise, a few of those players had to come on. Different game, derby. I'm sure it's not going to be anything like that. But scoreline for you, I'm going to go Desmond.
Well, so I've got to stick with what I said on the podcast, haven't
I? Which is?
Well, before I say that, there's a massive. Are we allowed to say it on here, or is
I don't know what you're going to say.
Just Poddy?
Oh no, you can say it. Oh no, you can say it. I
wasn't sure if it was just a Poddy listeners.
We should listen to it, because if you haven't listened to the Poddy, then the stuff you can win is unbelievable.
There's a huge giveaway on this week's Poddy. Huge giveaway.
You went mental.
So I went mental. I got to decide the prizes. I went a little bit crazy, but I also went for a crazy scoreline to back it up.
Go on.
I've gone 3-3.
3-3. 6-goal thriller.
6-goal thriller. And I would like to think, to make it feel more positive, it's Wolves coming back into it and getting a point rather than the other way around, because it feels like 2 points lost, isn't it? So let's hope it's the other way around, but 3-3 thriller.
Can't wait.
It's hard to say that. 3-3 thriller.
I love it. Get off screen. Wolves against Aston Villa for all the build up on this one. Make sure you log on to expressthestar.com.